Welcome to the Tired of Talking podcast. I am your host, Carmen Rozier, and this is the podcast where we talk about all the things we are tired of talking about that we want to put an action plan to. Come to the place where you can rediscover, recreate, and redesign your life. Let's get into it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Tired of Talking podcast. This is a special edition today. Today, we are going to be getting into something that is new for me, but I'm so excited about. So I'm going to be joined by a guest today, and we're going to be talking about believing in better as it pertains to recreate, rediscovering, recreating, and redesigning your life. Okay, so like I said, this is an exciting episode. I have a co-host with me today. This lady, she actually needs no introduction, but I'm gonna give one anyway. I am bringing to the stage with me my first official guest on the Tired of Talking podcast, Miss Dawn Patrice of Dawn Patrice Consulting Services. She specializes in all things fabulous. And let me just say how I met her. Listen, y'all. We were attending a conference together, and you just see somebody from a distance and you just be like, she got that black girl magic popping right there, melanin popping, just all things wonderful. And we just immediately, attracted to each other. Yeah. Awesome conversation. It was like we knew each other when we met. This is my sister.
Seriously.
This is my sister. And then walking out into the parking lot, just on a humble, thousands of people in this establishment. And I'm like, and you ain't gonna believe my car is parked directly
next to each other. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Dawn Patrice, tell us a little bit about what you do before we get all into it and why you're on the show today.
Okay, first and foremost, thank you for the opportunity of having me as your guest. So as you just stated, I am Dawn Patrice, and I'm an image consultant, but I'm not just your ordinary image consultant. When you think of image consultant, you just think of just being fly on the outside, but my specialty is working from the inside out. So when I'm working with clients, I'm not just styling you, I'm affirming you. So whatever emotional traumas or triggers that you may have had, because after working with me, you're redefined, redesigned, and everything else, right? So working with me, I really take the time to get to know my clients and see where their trigger points are, because above it all, we can put on clothes and look like, we just all that. But if your confidence and your posture is not showing in how you're carrying yourself, it's really a facade. So it's important to really be authentic from the inside out. And that's what I do with my clients, really just showing that the totality of who you are and making sure that you're shining from the inside out. So that's who I am and what I do. And it's always encouragement when I'm working with my clients to build them up.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Because when I first met you, they say that your energy precedes you. Your energy enters the room before you do. Your energy speaks before you do. So it wasn't that you had a look, and it's crazy that our looks were similar. We bring vibe to the.
No, even the second day. No, was it the first day?
It was the first and the second day. Because then when I saw you the second day, I was like,
sis, we looking at each other closet in each other room, right?
Something. And so it was just that, you had the confidence and you had an aura about yourself. And I think that speaks volumes, because if it's, let it just be me. But right now, I believe when I look at a lot of our women, it's disingenuine. I feel that it's not organic.
Right.
One tends to look the same. That means that there was no work done on the outside. You know what I mean? So it's like there's nothing done on the outside. So you have this beautiful, what I like to call a mask. You have this beautiful thing going on.
Right.
But there's no energy behind it.
Yeah. Because that inside is very shallow. It's very shallow. You got to do that inner work. So when you're doing that inner work, it's going to show outwardly, authentically.
Yes. Exactly. So it's more than just, it's more than outer beauty. It's the inner beauty. It's the
character,
all of that. And so, guys, like I said, we met at a conference, and, that always draws like-minded individuals. And so that just right there set the tone. And when you are a unique personality in your circle, we're unicorns. And so when you put all of these unicorns in one space, it's just like, it's a party, baby.
It's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey.
And it's because of what's going on. It's the transformation that's taking place. And so when I meet people like Dawn Patrice, and we have aligned visions, you know, we're all about the holistic ideology of women. And so, you know, we've shared some stories together, and overcoming trauma and hurt, and just understanding that, you know, you don't want to dress it up. You know,
right.
Would you pick up, I have a dog, so I got to be real visual. Would you pick some poop up off the ground and then just be like, no, let me fix this, let me dress it up? No, because when you can, but it ain't.
It's still gonna stink.
It's gonna stink, and when you peel off the package, you find
it's
poop.
Gonna be reeking.
You're gonna find poop. And to be quite honest, you know, as women, we, you know, and I know the truth for myself is that, especially if you come from a line of strong Black women, we get into this thing of, even if we come into a place or a space of trauma, get over it and get on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when I adopted mentors, like in the corporate space, and I always look for, because I was always in like predominantly white institutions. And I would, you know, I would look for someone who looked like myself, who was at the top. And so I had a mentor, and I mean, she even resonated the same thing. Like, we ain't got time to cry. Them tears ain't. And so I would like to debunk that and say that when you begin from the inside out, I say, feel all your feels. Feel all
Absolutely.
your feels. Those tears are therapeutic. Let them out. Cry.
Absolutely.
Go through the go through, but don't stay in the go through.
Right.
And so kind of talk about how you help people do that. Go through the go through from when you
that's exactly what you just said, how people just kind of brush over things. As you were speaking, I'm like, wow, I haven't been, you know, clinically trained in the things that I've been able to do as far as encouraging and inspiring people. But that's exactly it. Take the time to just be in that moment, be still, feel every emotion that you have. Whatever's triggering you, let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times people don't take that time because, again, everything is so rushed. I got to do this, I got to do that. But you're rushing to what? Because you're rushing and you're still in this fragment of who you are, and you haven't taken the time to really process those emotions. I think processing your emotions are so essential, because when you're able to process your emotions, when things continue to happen, you know how to, okay, let me just be still. I see what's happening here. Now, how do I respond to it? Now, you heard me say respond, not react, but respond. Mm-hmm. Because everything is so reactive. Take the time. But that comes with being with yourself, having that moment of stillness. Mm-hmm. That's essential. And that's what I tell my clients, be still sometimes.
Be still.
You don't have to always, rush to do one thing after another. And these are the things I had to learn. Even just an aha moment. Just in transparency, I recently was let go of a job. And my friend, she said, well, how do you handle stress? And I was like, I'm not really a stressful person, so I don't really know how to answer that. She said, as a friend from the outside looking in, she said, you're always going. You're always going. She said, you always tell people to have grace and be gentle to themselves. But Dawn, I see that you don't always do that for yourself. I was like, ooh, thank you. So I'm learning even for myself, just be still, take that time. Don't try to rush to something else. Process where you're at and move forward. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And I think when we do that, that is where stress can come from. That is where reactions come from. Because think about it, when you are carrying something that is really heavy, it becomes an irritant. And then anytime somebody begins to get ready to add something to it, that's when the reaction comes. It's like, reaction. And so we have to take that time to pause, to be still. I'm sitting here with my journal, to unpack that thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have a blind side, you don't even understand. And I look over this last week, we were talking about attention to detail before we
Yes.
started. We were talking about attention to detail. And because I'm always, fast paced and going, I realized that that's how I deal with some type of trauma triggers, is because it's that of keep it moving and keep going. And then when I had to stop, I asked the question, you just had a traumatic experience, but I don't necessarily feel it. And
right.
So it's in there and it's on reserve for that next thing or that next person. So when you become self-aware, and then I'm able to take the time, and I don't even know if I share with you, the trigger was just me minding my business, walking down the street, a car full of boys pulled up and pretended to do a drive-by shooting with an actual, they call it something, and I don't know, it's the young people, but I don't even know why we sell this. It's a fake looking real machine gun, but it's not a BB gun, but it shoots like rubber bullets or something, some type of pellet. Yeah. So anyway, I had that experience, and what the manifestation that came out of it, or the realization that came out of it, was, oh my God, this is what happens when people are involved in mass shooting. Now, here, coming out of a gym, obviously doing something to add years to my life. And I'm thinking that health is the thing that I have control of. And so when we have a situation that we don't have control of, when I found myself up against a wall with, even though they were pellets, if those were actual bullets, how many times did you just get shot? And so I had to take the time. And even though I was able to dismiss and say, well, these were kids, and, I was a juvenile delinquent, it was still the brevity of, oh my goodness, this is what a sitting duck, this is what that is. This is what that looks like. So anyway, I digress, but I'm just saying that keeping it moving, because then I still had an appointment coming up. I still had this to do. I had that to do. I got the kids, I got the grandkids. And so we have to take that time and make sure, because then now we're talking about that outward and how that manifests on the outside. If you're irritated and you're carrying that, and then it's a spiral. Spiral.
It's going to show up. Absolutely.
It's going to show up. And so even in the space of not being necessarily licensed therapists in that area, when you have gone through situations, as I have, as Dawn Patrice has, and you are able to navigate through waters and come through the other side with those professional tools, and we'll talk about that, then we can go back and reach back a hand and say, hey, sis, I see something going on about you. And I think it's important. And the reason why we're aligned, and now we're going to get into it, we are partnering now as we are approaching the fourth quarter, holding a virtual conference, Believing in Better, okay? And you guys know my mantra is to rediscover, recreate, and redesign your life. And that is literally what we are talking about here. And so when we're doing this, resources, people, and tools, I want to have those to be available and to be able to reach out and help out. So when we go through the conference, Dawn Patrice, kind of go over some things that you are going to highlight and cover. What are 3 things that people will be able to take away from you from this virtual experience that we're going to have? I'm so excited about it.
So they're going to be able to take away having a resilient mindset. That's first and foremost. And with that, you're going to have the confidence. And with that confidence, you're going to have the strength to be able to not even just display, but be your true and authentic self, no matter where you're at in the world. So before we focus on the outside, you got to have those 3 tiers on the inside, because with that, you're unshakable. You're unmovable in who you are, and nobody can, as they say, take you off your square. So that's what I'll be bringing to the Believe in Your Better virtual conference.
That's amazing. Resilience, confidence, and strength.
That's it.
What else is there to be said? And there's so much to that. Come on, y'all. We know, like, when you look good, you feel good. But we reverse engineering that thing, and we saying when you feel good, then you're gonna look good because what's on the inside is gonna manifest outwardly. My granddaughters, I have a lot of stories I'm gonna tell about my grandkids. See, that's like, I might not look like a grandma, but I'm gonna definitely have some grandma stories for you. My granddaughters had to have their hair braided for a father-daughter dance. Okay. When we were done braiding their hair, I'm talking I whipped my hair back and forth. Shout out to Willow Smith. I whipping my hair back and forth. Excuse me.
Yes.
And I mean, and then the older granddaughter, she's 9, and you know, she reminds me a lot of myself because she's an old 9 years old. And she's like, and they call me Yaya. She's like, Yaya, when I get my hair done, I just feel good. And I'm like, I'm telling her, I knew what she was saying, but I wanted to draw out of the mouths of babes. I wanted to draw it out. I'm like, what you mean? She said, because I just feel like pretty and I feel happy. She said she feels happy. And she took me back to those days of when I first started getting my hair done. Remember when you went to the beauty salon and you had to sit on that
chair? Yes. Yes.
Reach to dry. So I remember being a little girl and getting my hair done. And yes, and I was going through an identity crisis because when I say I was a Shirley Temple fan, we're gonna let that rest right there.
Let it rest, sis.
We're gonna let it rest. I wanted Shirley Temple curls. That's all I wanted. They couldn't make me blonde, right? They couldn't make me blonde and bleach my skin, but I could get them curls. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
And she would do my hair in the Shirley Temple curls. And shout out to I was thinking of her the other day. My first stylist name was Ann Lent. She was also my next door neighbor. So shout out to her. God bless her, or God rest her soul. I'm not sure where she is in the world or in the universe, but she would get me together, and I had she would have me with these Shirley Temple curls, and that's all I did all day.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt good. So just saying that it's important how you look and how you feel, but more importantly, how you feel, because how you look on the outside, that's temporary. We know that.
Yeah.
But that,
like you said,
that internal. And so when we talk about that, though, you know, I'm going to definitely hand the floor over to my sis when we have the Believing in Better conference, so that she can get into the image part. Because guys, if you go on her page, I stalked her page recently, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, she is fly, y'all. She puts it together, just accessorizes, and like I said, the full package, because her beautiful spirit matches that, and that does not come without a lot of hard work. We just journeyed together through a very long,
intense 12 weeks.
12 weeks of a program, Game Changers. So we are very big in the ETA community. That is Dr. Eric Thomas and Associates. And so we are now certified game changers and public speakers. So we definitely impress upon you to plug in to what we have on.
Personal development is key.
Personal development is key. And then we want to bring feminine energy, feminine beauty, and then just like the whole package, the holistic, because to be quite honest, femininity, like just how they say chivalry is dead, femininity is fading away. And I'm here to bring femininity back, baby.
I'm with you.
And listen, I'm all about a hoodie, some leggings, and some tennis shoes on any given day. But listen, give me some pumps, some pumps, some pearls, or some pumps and some type of jewelry. Give me y'all. I'm all things on the hair wrap. I will do my hair wrap like it's a hairstyle. So all of that, just, you know, get in where you fit in. All shapes, sizes, and color of women are invited. I specialize in helping divorced mothers who need to reveal what they need to heal, healing from the inside out, and rediscovering who they are. And someone said that someone asked this question, and I'm going to say it, I'm going to pose it with you guys. How can you rediscover yourself if you've never discovered. And I'm going to challenge everyone. Sounds good, but everybody came here. And when I say here, this realm, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, okay? And our spirits are infinite, and we came from a God source, and he did not send us here without a blueprint, and that is called your purpose. And a lot of us get lost, and a lot of us become stagnant, and a lot of us carry a lot of depression because we don't know what it is that we're supposed to do. There's no way that you can be hopeless in any situation when you know that you are being pulled and pushed and pressed to something greater. And if you don't feel that, then I am inviting you into our space to believing in better, because we're coming up, we're going to be in this fourth quarter, guys. And in the fourth quarter, we coming on that big trifecta, that trifecta we call Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. And this is when, if you are going through a low point in your life, this is when that old D word that we bind that to the pit of hell, when depression begins to set in, we bring hope into that situation by helping you to rediscover who you are. Rediscover, because there you knew at some point, and so now it's getting you in contact, in connection with you, and then recreating that mindset. And this is where my sister and I are in alignment. When you get that mindset in order, that is the control center of you. And what manifests on the outside is nothing more than what you see or what the vision is inside. And for lack of vision, we perish. You understand?
Perish. That's right.
So we're going to help you. And then I'm going to bring some other guests on that are going to talk about that visualization process. There's a lot here, but right now we just want to kind of, water your mouth and just kind of get you into the know of what's coming down the pike and how you can get in where you fit in. So I'm inviting you all to follow Dawn Patrice. Her information is right here. Make sure that you plug in and follow me, DM me, and join my community and find out how you can get tickets, and stay tuned. We are going to be definitely promoting this event. It is going to be October 22nd. It's out there now, October 22nd.
Yes.
We're going to close this fourth quarter strong and give you a blueprint to take into the year of 2023, knowing that the rest of your life is going to be the best, and that your latter days are in the past and the greater is in front of you. Now, what would you like to leave for your parting words with the people?
I would leave that no matter what you go through, you don't have to show it. You never have to show it. Find that peace and that stillness within. And when you have that and acquire that, begin to sprinkle your sunshine all over the world. I am Dawn Patrice.
I love it. I love it. Well, sis, it has been my pleasure for you to be the first guest on the Tired of Talking podcast. And I'm sure this won't be the last time. We have lots of ventures coming down the pike. Our journey has just begun. So thank you. And so with that, people, we're going to sign off here. And you guys know you can tune in to the podcast next week. And I will be here to greet you with episode 12. Stay tuned.